Now available, paperback and Kindle Unlimited. ISIS, the main event. It's carnage inside of a steel cage when the goddess next door steps in the squared circle with the beast from the boss in this action-packed all-new ISIS series adventure. Get ISIS, the main event, paperback and Kindle Unlimited today. On Monday Night Raw, we saw a complete reset on the Austin Theory character. Now, the Austin Theory character had struggled to get over with audiences ever since Vince McMahon went out here and gave him a premature push. Now, your Austin Theory, I believe, came into the WWE from NXT about a year or so ago. And in that year or so ago, your Vince McMahon, when he was running WWE, wanted to go out here and give Austin Theory a major push. And as part of that major singles push, he went out here and made your Austin Theory the United States champion, and then he also gave him the Money in the Bank briefcase, which guarantees the owner a shot at whatever title they wanted to get. Unfortunately, in the year or so that Austin Theory has been given this major push, sadly, he has not connected with the audience, and since he hasn't connected with the audience, he hasn't gotten over to become the main event star that Vince McMahon envisioned him to be. Now, over the course of the last year, your Vince McMahon was forced out of the WWE in a scandal, and this is what led to your Austin Theory, who was rebranded Theory's whole career winding up in limbo. And as Triple H has taken over WWE, he has gone out here and looked to try to fix Austin Theory's character, which suffered under Vince McMahon's push, which basically brought your Austin Theory into the audience's eyes way too soon. Now, this isn't the first time Vince McMahon has made this mistake with a wrestler and their push. The first time I remember him making this exact same mistake was with former WWE champion Drew McIntyre early in his career. Now, early in Drew McIntyre's career with WWE, your Vince McMahon deemed Drew McIntyre the chosen one and said he was going to be the next WWE champion, but sadly the audience got completely turned off, and the main reason why the audience got turned off was because Vince McMahon was telling everyone that he was going to make Drew McIntyre the next big thing, and that turned the audience completely off. Now, in the wrestling business, you have stories and characters, and the audience got turned off by Drew McIntyre because they were not allowed to be a part of the build-up of the story revolving around his character. Now, when it comes down to wrestlers, the audience wants to go out here and get to know this character, and they want to have a reason to care about this character. So whenever you introduce a brand new wrestler, you just can't say he's going to be a part of the main event and tell us he's going to be a star. That's a bona fide way to turn off the audience, because the audience wants to see this wrestler rise through the ranks by merit and show us that they have what it takes to be a main event star. That was the fun part of watching legendary wrestlers like the late Eddie Guerrero, who came to WWE from WCW as part of the Radicals. It was fun to watch the late Eddie Guerrero rise through the ranks of the WWE, letting us get to know his character and letting us see him work his way up from the titles such as the European Champion to the Intercontinental Champion, all the way up to the WWE Champion. That was one of the fun parts of Eddie Guerrero's story, and one of the reasons why the audience connected to the late Eddie Guerrero is because we got to know him as a person through his backstage segments. We got to know him working the mic and working the crowd, and as we got to know his character, we got a reason to care about him, and we got a reason to go out here and root for him as we watched him beat Brock Lesnar to get his first WWE Championship. It's all about the build-up as related to the story, and people felt deprived as related to Drew McIntyre, and that's why his first run in the WWE failed. But when they brought him back, they learned from their mistakes, and they eventually went out here and developed his character and allowed him to go out here and connect with the audience and eventually work on his way up to becoming a champion. That is the main thing that the audience wants to see when they're going out here watching wrestling. Wrestling is all about storytelling, and people want to go out here and see this character, and they know what they want is the WWE Championship, but we need a reason to care. And if you tell me this guy is going to be in the main event and not show us why he is worthy of being in the main event, you're taking things away from the audience. And that was the big problem with Austin Theory that Triple H has been working to correct over the last few weeks. Because yes, while your Austin Theory had good ring work and he had good mic work, the problem was with his character, which was compromised by Vince McMahon giving him too much too soon, because we wanted to see your Austin Theory go out here and work and get that title. We wanted to see him work towards becoming a part of the main event. We wanted to get to know this character, and we did not want to see this character forced on us, because the fun part about watching wrestling is seeing a wrestler come from the bottom and rise to the top, the same way we saw John Cena come from the bottom as the prototype and work his way up as the doctor of thugonomics, all the way up to becoming the WWE champion and becoming the next big superstar. What the wrestling fans want to see is a wrestler working his way up the ranks and eventually going up to the main event. Now, Triple H did the right thing by going out here and making it where Austin Theory wound up losing the Money in the Bank contract, because when he lost that match, it basically led to the complete reset of his character, because taking this character and having him lose the Money in the Bank, some people thought that this was a major mistake that would lead to the burial of Austin Theory. But when I looked at the big picture as related to storytelling, I saw where Triple H was putting a reset on a character who had failed to connect with the audience. I'm thinking that Triple H saw the mistakes that were made with Drew McIntyre in the past and said, hey, I'm going to stop this right now because this guy's under contract, and what I'm going to do is reset his character with the series of losses he had, and then lead to this big payoff loss as related to them failing to cash in the Money in the Bank, and then use that to go out here and re-establish Austin Theory's character as somebody the audience could go out here and connect with. Because with the Austin Theory character at the bottom at this point, he has a place where the audience can sympathize with him, and now he can now work towards connecting with the audience. And now with this reset character, he can now start working towards connecting with the audience, re-establishing a story for his character that the viewers can relate to, because now they are seeing him now work his way up the ranks, defeating opponents, and eventually working towards a title run with possibly the U.S. Championship, where he can work his way up and get over again as related to the mid-card, and then eventually start making that run towards the main event based on the merits of his character. This is what's happening now. His character is now going through the same character transformation arc that Drew McIntyre and John Cena and Eddie Guerrero had to go through. And that character transformation arc is how you go on the road to the main event in wrestling, because you cannot just go out here and tell people, hey, this guy's gonna be a superstar. No, we need to see
him working his way up to showing us that he is a superstar. We need to see that he's working his way towards the main event, because that's all part of the fun of the story of watching a wrestler on television, is watching this wrestler work their way up those ranks, watching them get over with the audience with each episode of a wrestling show or a pay-per-view. And as we watch them go through the highs and lows of the drama inside and outside the ring, this is what makes us care about this wrestler, and it makes us care about their story and their rise to the main event. That was what Vince McMahon deprived Austin Theory of, and this is what prevented him from becoming a superstar. But hopefully under Triple H, we will see Austin Theory start to work his way back and connecting with audiences with this reset. And with this reset, we will see a character that the audience will start to get to know, start to like, start to connect with, and start to go out here and really want to be able to care about their matches. That was something people couldn't do because Vince McMahon had forced Austin Theory down people's throats, and because he was forcing people down their throats, the audience resented Austin Theory's character, and hopefully now the audience will connect with him like I saw on Monday Night Raw, and all it took was a reset on the character to give him a story the audience could go out here and care about. Now, if you want to read my ISIS series story that's a tribute to pro wrestling, which I've been a fan of since I was 11 years old, you can pick up ISIS the Main Event in paperback and Kindle format. And if you have Kindle Unlimited, you can read ISIS the Main Event for free. And if you want to see me make more wrestling videos, you can donate to my Patreon, my PayPal, or my Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.
Now available in paperback, John Haynes at Death's Door. The man who rules the world takes on the Greek god of death in this action-packed John Haynes series adventure. Pick up your copy of John Haynes at Death's Door at Amazon.com and other online booksellers everywhere.